The CEO husband went bankrupt. And everyone thought the girl would run off with the money. Because she's beautiful, but only cares about money. Spending his money daily on food, drinks, and entertainment. But the girl is actually thinking of supporting the big boss to make a comeback. Then she can just cling to him and achieve financial freedom. Who would have thought that the big boss's bankruptcy was a disguise? The master uncle had already reached the ending when he entered the novel. Big boss Qin Shinshi is the villain defeated by the male lead. He still remembers Uncle Yuan's last words. Planets are the only remaining thing. Only the wife, Shichuxia, and those luxury bags and clothes she bought before. If we follow the original storyline, the true love for money will soon leave him with the bags and clothes. The only remaining boss is himself. The master looks around and sighs. He's really embarrassed to take the money and leave now. Anyway, he just arrived here with nowhere to go. He can make money to support the boss. If he wants to leave, he has to wait until the boss has his own career. Watching the messy room made by the original person, my uncle immediately got up to tidy up. 3 hours later, the stuff in the corner of his room was piled up to the ceiling. He has over 100 bags and more than 80 sets of clothes. Thinking about the now empty house with nothing inside, he went to the supermarket to buy a double portion of daily necessities, and then started cleaning again when he got home. She finished tidying up around 10 p.m. Just as she was about to have a late night snack and get ready to rest, the door across suddenly swung open. The girl looked up abruptly. She saw a man staring at her expressionlessly. He looked away and casually glanced around the room. A flash of surprise appeared in his eyes. "Did you hire someone to clean? Is there enough money?" The senior uncle shook his head subconsciously. He quietly said, "No. I cleaned it myself." The other person was obviously more shocked that you cleaned it. The senior uncle took a deep breath, nodded, and looked directly at him with a different gaze. Qingxingqi was the first to avert his gaze, took off his coat and hung it on the hook by the door. "Is there enough money?" "Yes, there is. And you?" "Uncle, do you usually ask back habitually?" The other Wenyang looked over in surprise again, then said softly, "That's enough." Qingxingqi stepped over and sat on the sofa on the other side. "The property issues have basically been settled. You still have 30,000 yuan left. There should be 60,000 yuan in your card. I've already paid 6 months rent for this apartment. If you want a divorce, I'll give you another 20,000 yuan. Until you find a new place to rent. You can stay here as long as you want." Shichuxia Wenyang quickly shook his head. "I don't want a divorce. I don't need you to give me money. I've already accepted reality. I'll spend less in the future. And I'll earn my own money. You don't need to put so much pressure on yourself. An ordinary family doesn't actually spend that much in a month." Planet didn't expect him to say that. "But didn't you say yesterday that you wanted a divorce?" "Uncle, I suddenly remembered the plot, and my face stiffened. That was when I was drunk. I didn't mean it like that. Since we are married, I won't abandon you at this time. From now on, I will take responsibility for our life. Don't worry about me. I might even be able to support you." After he spoke, he looked up and saw Qin Shinshi. His gaze was very strange. He also knew that his reaction just now was very different from before. The difference was too big. He didn't know what to say during the silence. Qin Shinshi didn't ask further, just rubbed his temples. His eyes showed exhaustion, so he let it go. "Just let me know if you ever want a divorce." After saying that, he got up to wash up in the bathroom. The next morning, Uncle Shi is used to waking up at 6:30 a.m. He gets up, cooks some porridge, then goes downstairs to buy buns and fried dough sticks. When he comes back, Xing just happens to open the door and come out. The man sees the breakfast in his hand and unconsciously rubs his eyes. Master Uncle raises the bun and fried dough sticks in his hand. "I bought breakfast and cooked porridge too. Go wash up quickly." After saying that, he goes to the kitchen to check how the porridge is doing, ignoring the differing gazes behind him from Qin Shinshi. "Because the two of you stayed up late before, Shishu was worried you might be lacking in blood and energy. So he specially cooked red date and red bean porridge." When Qin Shinshi came out of the bathroom, what he saw was a breakfast that was barely considered a feast on the table. His wife knows best. They've been married for over 3 years. "I've never done any housework before. The only thing I know is how to shop. According to the information I found before we got married, it didn't say he could do these things. So, was he just pretending before?" Seeing the man's obvious skeptical look, Shishu quickly came up with a reason he thought of last night. "There used to be servants at home. I didn't make a move. There's not much money at home now. So I can't keep going out all the time. The things I make are decent enough to eat. If you don't mind, you can come back later to eat." Sitting opposite the poetry and books at the planet's time, holding the spoon, took a bite of porridge, and sent it into my mouth. Actually, it tastes pretty good. The man is eating his porridge quickly. But he only ate one bun. And he only had one fried dough stick. Looking at him, he doesn't seem to be a big eater. Teacher Chuxia thinks this amount of food shouldn't be enough to fill him. But considering he has eaten delicacies since he was young, and is used to see delicacies, it's truly a challenge for him to eat at such a small stall. Unfortunately, he can't do anything now. He can only let the senior brother eat worldly food. After the meal, he should help carry the things into the kitchen when he's focused. Uncle Master, quickly stand up and stop him. I'll take care of the cleanup. You go do whatever you need to. The planetary pool isn't bothering. Put down your bowls and chopsticks. The work hasn't been finished yet. I'll probably be back tonight. You don't need to worry about me. Call me if anything comes up. Once Xingqi leaves, Shishu will finally feel at ease. That man's aura is just too strong. He's afraid he might slip up. He has a lot to do today. Not only needs to add some items to the house, but also has to sell bags and clothes online. In his spare time, he also needs to research online novels, to revive his old profession and earn extra income. Wash the bowls and chopsticks. Master Uncle just wandered around the house, listing things to buy. Holding the checklist, I went out. After packing some good stuff, I went to take photos of my bag and clothes. Just kept busy like that until the evening. Only then did Uncle have time to return to the bedroom and browse online novels. 2 hours later, he clapped happily. This world of online novels. It's a bit more backward than his original world. Fortunately, the articles he wrote before can all be rewritten in a better way in this world. Suddenly, he heard the sound of the door opening outside. He hesitated for a moment, but jumped out of bed. He saw Qin Shinkai taking off his shoes at the entrance. While greeting him, Qin Shinkai went to lock the door. I just realized this morning. The door wasn't locked last night. When I used to live in a villa, someone was in charge of security. Now it's gone. You need to lock this door at night. Otherwise, a thief can just pry it open. The man nodded without saying anything. Poetry and books, then, had to find another topic. Today I bought some daily necessities again. If you're missing anything, just let me know. I'll go buy it later. Nothing urgent right now. The topic is directly concluded with one sentence. Poetry and books made me think for 3 seconds. Decisively leaving the scene. If there's nothing else, I'll go back to my room. Let me know if you need anything. Planet time. After closing the door under the poetry and books, I looked around the room. There are quite a few new things today, adding a bit more life to it than before. The toothpick box still has a lively chibi character design. The man looked up at the direction of the room. A faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. An unusual smell. The next morning, the persimmon tree blossomed earlier than yesterday. He made himself fried rice, poured milk, and paired it with 2 small dishes. When the star ate, the food was almost ready. Looking at this richly topped fried rice before him, once again refreshed his understanding of poetry and literature. You can still make fried rice. I may not know many dishes, but I can still handle home-cooked meals. At most, I can eat them. Don't look down on it. A spoonful from the planetary pond is pretty good. It's quite tasty. I'll come back for lunch today. Thinking under the tree. How about I cook 3 dishes and a soup? Will you be full? Xingqian Kai nodded. Should be fine. I'll be back around noon at 12. After eating, he'll tidy up and leave. Leaving the community, Xingqian Kai got into a car parked at the entrance of the community. The driver is his former assistant, Shi Han. When he sees him, he hands him the paper in his hand. Breakfast from Chingashueji. I've already eaten it. It's fried rice made by Shishu. The hand holding the thing pauses. Could there be some ulterior motive? I remember he didn't know anything before. By the way, didn't we say we were going to get a divorce? I've already looked into the procedures. Why is he not taking any action now? Mingxing leaned back on the seat, voice uncertain. He said he doesn't want a divorce anymore. He has accepted his current life. He'll live a good life from now on. And he will earn money. Don't put too much pressure on me. Is it because you can't stand to see me suffer? Planning to share hardships with me? In that case, is he a decent person? On planetary time, he still speaks casually. Maybe so. Anyway, he won't affect the big picture. Let's observe slowly. Meanwhile, Uncle Shishu goes out to buy groceries. Carrying 2 big bags in each hand, she walks into the neighborhood. Just after crossing the street, she suddenly hears someone calling her. She turns her head and sees a handsome man running toward her. Come here, Xia Xia. I heard about Qin Shinkai going bankrupt. Why are you still hanging out with him? Look at what you're wearing now. You have to buy your own groceries. Why don't you leave him and come back to me? Uncle, at this moment, I just remembered who this man is from memory. Isn't he the original scumbag ex-boyfriend? Liu Cheng, second young master of the Guoshi group. Back then, this man was just enjoying the original sound, while being attentive to himself, mocking the original sound for trying to latch onto someone rich. And even when dating, he always spent the original sound's money. In the end, I saw this man kissing his best friend in the original sound, and saying he was just playing with her. Then he gave up and obediently married ENGSUB. You could say his true self became someone who only loves to spend money. This man is at least half responsible. Thinking of Uncle Shi's decisive rejection. I won't go with you. Go back to where you came from. The planet era is already a waste. Why are you still staying by his side? Uncle, when he heard this, his expression turned serious. A couple shares both blessings and hardships. No matter what he becomes, I can't abandon him. Don't say he's just temporarily failed. Even if he's crippled or broken, I still have to take care of him. And you're not coming to see me now because you like me. You probably just want to feel good about stealing his woman. I was fooled by you before because I liked you. But now I'm not a fool anymore. What are you talking about? Did you hear something from ENGSUB? You misunderstood me. As he spoke, his eyes darkened as he slowly walked in. I really do like you. That love star pool just ran out of money. That's why I can't let go of you. You can't be so naive. Master Uncle, immediately stop him from approaching you. Don't come any closer, quickly. You keep saying you like me. But clearly, you saw in my hand. You're carrying such heavy things. But you didn't come to help me right away. Is that called love? And to abandon me while my husband is in trouble. That's truly inhumane. I won't leave him at this time. Forget about it. Guan Liu Cheng still has nothing to say. Suddenly, applause and cheers erupted nearby. The young girl said something well. Her values are truly admirable. Yeah, if everyone thought like that nowadays, there wouldn't be so many divorces. Shishu noticed. Not far from the side, a group of elderly men and women who had just finished exercising and were heading home. The old man looked up and down at Guanli City. That young girl is happily married. You shouldn't be trying to steal someone else's husband. The lady in red also took a step forward and said, when her husband has no money, he should divorce and be with you. But can you guarantee you'll never face a day without money? Poetry and books, observe the situation. Quick, make way for the elderly gentlemen and ladies. Hold back your laughter behind the crowd. These elders just need to be educated. You should teach him a good lesson. I need to go home and cook. I'll head back first. We'll talk more next time if there's a chance. Not far away, Qin Xingqi and Shihan sat in the car, watching silently. Until teacher Guan Liu Cheng admitted his mistake and was released, Shihan couldn't believe she spoke up. That was Miss Shi just now, right? Why do I feel like it's someone else? Xingqi, it's also the first time I've seen my wife like this. Yes, it's her. Miss Shi is a very kind person. She's willing to endure hardship just to stay by your side. And it's not because she loves you, but out of principle. Her values are so upright. Planet Kai nods. Open the car door. I won't be going out this afternoon. You handle the paperwork for the property side. When Xingxincha got home, she saw Uncle Shi holding his laptop, sitting on the sofa typing. The house was filled with the aroma of meat. Hearing the door open, Uncle Shi looked up and greeted her. His hands kept typing on the keyboard. Seeing the man staring at the computer, he explained, I plan to try writing online articles. You don't mind, do you? He asks casually. But his hands keep moving. Clearly just a polite inquiry. He doesn't expect to make money from the planet either. As long as you're happy. Master Uncle knows. The boss probably isn't interested in these things. So he changed the subject. The ribs are already simmered. It'll probably be an hour before dinner. Go ahead and get busy. Xing nodded. After washing up and changing clothes, he entered his room. An hour later, Shishu knocked on the door, calling him to dinner. There are 2 bowls of rice on the table. The dishes are quite rich. It's obviously carefully prepared. Shishu sat down opposite Kinshin Pool. It's the first time I've made sweet and sour ribs. I don't know if they'll taste good. If not, I'll remove a cucumber later. In my past life, after my parents' incident at university, he has been living alone all this time. So his life skills are all fine. Putting planets together and sending them into his mouth with a nod is pretty good. It's quite tasty. You should eat more. It must have been very exhausting outside these days. Honestly, just thinking about it is enough. The Qin family used to be an unreachable family for others. Now that he's bankrupt, others only want to swallow the Qin family's assets. Actually, Uncle Master, I never understood when I was reading the novel. Why Qin Xing insists on not letting his buddies help him. Clearly, if he accepted help, he wouldn't have to. Unfortunately, their relationship isn't very close now. So he doesn't feel comfortable asking. Finish the meal. Uncle Shishu took the bowls and chopsticks and threw them into the kitchen sink. I'll put the bowls and chopsticks in the kitchen first. You don't need to move. I'll wash them after I wake up this afternoon. After saying that, he returned to the sofa to continue typing on his phone. Meanwhile, Qin Shenxi went back to his room again. Took out his phone to reply to his brother Xiaosai. Let's not look into his past for now. I'll see how he handles things moving forward. It's only been 2 days. Maybe I'm overthinking it, who knows. Let's wait until around 1:30. Master Uncle forces himself to shut the computer and go take a nap. The living room suddenly falls silent. Less than an hour later, the alarm rings. Uncle climbs out of bed, feeling a bit dizzy in the head. He puts on his slippers and walks to the bathroom. He opens the door, about to step inside. He looks up and bumps into someone face to face. Uncle quietly pulls the door shut again. Then, suppressing his breakdown, he apologizes to the person inside. I was half asleep, and thought I was the only one taking care of it. He covered his face, ran into his room, and closed the door. At this moment, he wished he could just disappear. Running into his so-called husband crouching on the toilet was so embarrassing. It was too awkward. It took him a long time to get his composure back. He turned the door handle and stepped out. The planet room just came out of the bathroom. He cleared his throat awkwardly. No big deal. Don't be too embarrassed. This house is small. You'll see each other often in the future. Get used to it. Uncle Shi nodded repeatedly, saying yes, yes. Just get used to it. By the way, you're not going out today. I've already taken care of everything I needed to do today. I won't be going out this afternoon. After he finished speaking, he suddenly remembered that I haven't been here these days. Is there anything you need my help with? As soon as he mentioned my master uncle, I immediately remembered. The balcony light and that lift. The clothes rack that goes up and down seemed to have a problem. Can you fix it? After saying that, master uncle felt pretty uncertain inside. Although this is a basic skill most ordinary men have. But for someone like Qin Shinkai, he might have never done it before. The man steps pause. I'll give it a try. I'll go take a look first. Master uncle, seeing this, hurriedly spoke, if it doesn't work, then I can call someone over later to fix it. The planet's footstep pauses. The voice is gentle. I haven't looked yet. He just remembered that the boss also cares about face. He should wait until he sees that it can't be fixed. And then say something like that. Even the teacher's uncle wouldn't dare to speak carelessly. Hurry and run to the living room to find the tools. And bring them over. All the tools are here. If you need a hand with anything, just call me. He just said this and then ran back to the living room to keep working. Half an hour later, the planet standard time, he walked out of his bedroom. He immediately saw the notebook on the table. A few repair calls are recorded above. Although he didn't say anything, Shishu closed the notebook awkwardly. What's wrong? Is it done? The celebrity puts the toolbox back in place. It's already done. Although I grew up taking leaves. But I wouldn't go as far as to. You don't even know basic life skills. If anything happens at home, you can tell me. I'm not just good at making money. He glances meaningfully at Uncle Shi, then returns to his room. And at this moment, the girl suddenly remembers her bag she's selling. She opens her phone and realizes they've already sold 12 bags and 2 sets of clothes. He quickly called someone to come pick up the items. Meanwhile, he ran into the room to pack everything up. Half an hour later, the person came to pick up the items arrived at the planet. They probably heard the noise and came out to open the door. What are you doing? There are too many clothes and bags before. I separated some to sell them. These are what I sold today. I need to mail the items to the buyer. Planet is Wen Yang holding his phone, flipping through it. No need for that. We are not at the point where you need to sell things. Uncle, hesitating, speaks up. Actually, mainly because they take up space. Might as well sell it in exchange for money. That way, if you see a new product you like in the future, you can still buy it. Uncle feels he's being considerate enough. Saying it like that definitely won't hurt the boss's pride. Lin Xinchi's hand trembled as he held his. Then he released it without stopping him again. Just said to buy new ones in the future. Uncle, I wouldn't dare to buy it for real. Given their current situation, buying even one would mean eating dirt for months. Although I'm complaining inwardly, he still puts on a very respectful smile. Smiling and waiting for you to buy me a new bag someday. Qin Shenxi was momentarily dazzled by that smile in front of her. She slightly lowered her head and saw the box packed on the ground. Bend down and pick it up. Help the delivery person put it into the large bag. Until the delivery person leaves with the items. Xingxingcha finally asked how much you plan to sell. There were originally over 100 bags. More than 80 sets of clothes. I think leaving 20 bags should be enough. As for the clothes, about 30 sets should do. Sell everything left. I thought the boss would stop him. But Qin Shenxi just nodded. Didn't say anything. casually picked up an apple, sat on the sofa and started peeling. Shishu is unsure of his intentions. Can only sit on the sofa, staring at the computer and daydreaming. In 3 minutes. Suddenly, a peeled apple appears in front of me. Uncle Master points at himself in disbelief. It's for me. Planet Time nods. He hands the apple forward again. Sorry to trouble you. Uncle Master truly is overwhelmed with gratitude. The boss in the tribe has never been close to women. Quick, reach out and catch the apple. These were originally bought with your money. You didn't mind me being spendthrift before. I really appreciate that. Planet suddenly smiled in a literary way. Don't worry, I'll definitely buy you more bags in the future. Xie Chu instinctively nodded. Realizing this, her face turned a bit red. I believe you'll definitely make a comeback. I'll wait for you, and when the time comes, buy me a bag. Xingxingxia stands up with a faint smile, looking beyond poetry and books to places unseen. A hint of amusement flashes in her eyes. The next day, Xingxingxia left early in the morning. She was busy with submissions beyond poetry and books. Just finished organizing the manuscript and sent it out. Then I heard someone knocking on the door. He stood up and opened the door, and saw a stranger woman standing outside, looking at him from head to toe with a girl's eyes. It made me feel very uncomfortable. Won't you invite me in for a seat? As she said, she was about to step inside. Uncle, seeing the situation, quickly stepped in to block him. Who are you looking for? The other person squeezed into the room. If you are from the sect, I'm here to see you. Brother Qin isn't here right now, is he? Even a strong disciple shouldn't just turn someone away. So, they could only close the door. Politely pour a cup of tea for the visitor and place it in front of him. He went out early in the morning. Is there something you want to talk to me about? Of course there is. Honestly, Brother Qin, you really suffered marrying you. I know it was Grandpa Qin's way of repaying kindness back then. And he asked Brother Qin to marry you. But you spend all day just eating, drinking, and having fun. You don't know anything. Do you feel proud of yourself? Poetry and books, I really can't help but interrupt him. May I ask, what is your relationship to Qin Shinxi? With pride in classical Chinese literature, she raises her head. Big Brother Qin and I are childhood sweethearts. If it weren't for you, we might have been together long ago. Spider-Man has been trying to remember, but still can't recall. So, what's your purpose in coming to see me? My dad has already agreed. As long as we get married, he will help Brother Qin make a comeback. So, you should divorce him. Spider-Man focused on the main point to confirm. So, this is Qin Shinxi's intention. Zhongyu glared at him disdainfully. That's what I mean. You spent so much money on him. All these years, you haven't really helped him. Now he's in trouble, and you can't do much. Shouldn't you at least not be a burden to him? You proactively asked for a divorce. He went along with it willingly. Everyone looks good on the surface. However, Uncle Shi shook his head. If that's what the heart pool means, I have no problem with filing for divorce. But you say that's your intention. Then before we got married, were you and he a couple? Zhongyu's water-drinking action suddenly paused, then said, that doesn't matter. Besides, he doesn't like you either. I can help him, and you would only hold him back. I'm 100 times more suitable for him than you. Master Uncle, once again, shaking his head, you're wrong. I'm sure he won't easily accept your father's help. Actually, this help is essentially a trade for marrying you. If he relies on your father to make a comeback, he will never be able to shake off the reputation of relying on women to succeed. Actually, Shishu doesn't mind divorcing Qin Shinxi. In fact, this matter depends on what the boss thinks. He will definitely respect his decision. And it seems like China and Vietnam have been provoked. And they've exploded. You just want to keep dragging him and not divorce him. How can you be so selfish? Brother Qin has finally had a chance to make a comeback. And you're about to ruin that chance with your own hands. You're really disgusting. With a cold expression, Miss Zhong's face darkened. I've been polite enough to you. Don't tell me you suddenly came over today and said a bunch of inappropriate things. If someone didn't know better, they'd think you're rushing to be a mistress, destroying a family. Even if you're trying to help Qinxing out of kindness, you want to help him. Go talk to him about his matters. I can't decide for him. I won't be the type to cling and refuse to divorce. Even the Chinese instrument player wants to speak, but he immediately cuts him off. If he truly likes you, before Grandpa Qin finds me, why didn't you get married? You just wanted to satisfy your own feelings for him, without considering his specific situation. I simply couldn't see any deep feelings for him from you. All I saw was a woman trying to satisfy her own desires. And who thinks she's deeply in love? Zhongyu's face instantly turned red with anger. You're a woman who can do nothing but spend money. So why do you say that about me? Shi Chuxia and Wen Yang immediately straightened their backs. Just by the fact that I am still his nominal wife, I have the right to say to anyone who wants to interfere in our marriage. I used to only spend money on things, and never helped him with anything. But he doesn't mind what kind of celebration this is. If you want to marry him, then go and tell him. As long as you reach an agreement with him, I will divorce him without hesitation. Zhongyu angrily slams a cup on the table and says, ultimately, you just don't want to get divorced. Shishu nods. Then just think that I don't want to divorce either. Getting a definite answer, Zhongyu directly grabs the bag beside him. He hurriedly left. The door closed again. Uncle Shi sighed softly. He brushed this matter aside, then went into his room. He took apart the bags he sold, and counted. These things add up to about 200,000 yuan. Once the buyers receive the goods, there will be extra money in their bank accounts. Then they can buy a small apartment. Thinking of this, Master's uncle suddenly feels full of motivation. He quickly opens a web page, and starts checking property listings in this city. The first house must be chosen carefully. After lunch, he plans to take a nap. At this moment, the boss suddenly opens the door and walks out. Today, he's finally here to make things difficult for you. Uncle, sitting on the sofa, hesitantly speaks. It's not exactly making things difficult. He asked me to divorce you, and I refused. I thought you and he didn't have much. If you like him, we can get divorced anytime. By the way, he also said that as long as you get married, his father can help you. I don't have any real issues with him, and I won't divorce you because of him. You're doing very well. As for other things, we can discuss them later. I don't need anyone else's help for now. Shishu nodded in response. I thought so too. He closed his computer and stood up. Do you have anything else to do? No, I'll go take a nap. The planetary time exploration room looked at him. When did you develop the habit of taking a nap? Poetry and books, the figure of a river. In the past, the original body always had reverse time. Ever since he appeared in this world, he's been suppressing his rhythm. His sleep schedule really varies a lot. So, what? Is it because his previous sleep habits weren't good? His health was poor, so he's forcing himself to adjust. Actually, you could try taking a nap. It'll help you feel more energetic in the afternoon, and work more efficiently. Even during planetary times, no questions were asked. Then you should rest. After saying that, he stood up and went back to his room, leaving Shishu standing there, feeling anxious and uneasy. In the room, emotionless, Xingxi sat back at the table. There are still some things that need to be looked at. Before that happens, let's just continue with the current situation for now. After a while, he picks up his phone and makes a call. You should buy a dishwasher these days and have it delivered to my place. After hanging up, he puts his phone on the table. He notices the bed nearby. Recalling what Shizu said earlier in my mind, is taking a nap really that good? Before I knew it, I had involuntarily laid down on the bed, feeling my body relax. The planet's mouth curves. It does seem pretty comfortable. Unknowingly, it's already 2:30 p.m. Uncle took a big stretch, then sat back down at the computer to start working on the character Ma. And then, he saw an editor from a literary website send a friend request. With the note, novel. Lost in thought, Uncle's hands clenched into fists in excitement, and he let out a sound. Qin Xingsha happened to see this when he came out. What's wrong? I blurted it out without thinking. My novel has been approved. Now I just need to wait for the second and final reviews. Then I can start earning some money. Seeing his sparkling eyes, as if waiting for praise, Qin Xingshi's expression softened a bit. Congratulations, then. Poetry and books, she smiles brightly. After saying that, she continues to immerse herself in her novel. He's now full of enthusiasm. And Qin Xingxi returns to his room, frowning slightly. No matter how alone he is, he can't fake such pure gaze. All the negative energy in his eyes seems to have disappeared together. It really can change. Has the thief become someone else? Can't figure out the answer, so he might as well stop thinking or check it out. If he truly awakens, and is willing to change, then there's no harm in keeping him. Thinking of him opening the door and coming out again. There's a banquet coming up in a few days. We need to attend together. Start preparing early. Master Uncle, you're getting nervous all of a sudden. If I go now, would I cause you trouble? You should know that Lord Qin would only attend a business banquet for sure. Would a little weakling like him embarrass himself? But Qin Xingxi doesn't care at all. At this moment, no one can cause me trouble anymore. Even if there is trouble, I don't care at all. After saying that, he calmly picks up his glass to pour water. Those words sound strangely unsettling. In the past, others always looked at Big Brother Qin's eyes. I suppose now if I attend such a banquet, it's just them watching others and acting accordingly. Originally, I wanted to refuse, but my words faltered. In the end, Master Uncle still nodded in agreement. For the next 2 days, Lord Qin still left early and returned late. Master Uncle also sells things every day and keeps checking how exactly to attend such banquets. The unfortunate thing is, people who can attend those high-end banquets never write things like this online. I've been over it for days. In the end, he had to turn to Big Boss Qin for help. Please help out. It's been a long time since I attended a banquet. I have no idea what kind of clothes are suitable. Take a look and see which one is better. Qin Shinshi looks a bit puzzled. Weren't you quite fond of choosing your own clothes before? Back then, the sudden change in environment made you a bit sensitive. Now you've understood. Who you are is who you are. Instead of being so sensitive and making others dislike you, it's better to openly admit you don't know. It seems you've thought this through quite clearly. Looking at those simple, elegant clothes on the sofa, Planet pointed at the most conservative long-sleeved black dress. This one, then. Not flashy, he said. He casually asked, what about those brighter colored dresses you had before? I've sold some. I kept all the unopened dresses. Wen Yang finds it a bit unbelievable. How many dresses do you have now in total? Including all types, there are 14. That should be enough, right? I don't think you'll attend many banquets in the future either. I guess it should be enough before I sell them. Qingxingpool doesn't know what to say. Forget it, don't sell these anymore. They might come in handy someday. The next day, I set out for the banquet. It wasn't like in my memories, with someone waiting to pick me up. This time, Qingxingpool personally drove to take Shishu down. Shishu got down. First time sitting in the same car as Lord Qin. That unreal feeling in my heart once again flooded back. We soon arrived at the city's largest hotel. As we reached the entrance, a greasy-looking man stopped them in their tracks. Uncle, she couldn't tell what was going on. He turned his head to look at the Qinxing pond. The man didn't even bother to lift his eyelids. His tone was cold, mentioning the land in the East City. Recently, Huang Yuan Group has been very visible. Should Mr. Liu pay some attention? The person called Mr. Liu was obviously momentarily stunned. He hesitated for 3 seconds, then blurted out, young Master Qin still looks as impressive as ever. It's been a long time, nice to see you. But Qin Shinter no longer pays him any attention. He directly leads his master inside to continue walking. As soon as they arrive here, they see several familiar faces from the past. People from their memories. Some turn their heads and see Shishushia, immediately raising their wine glasses to come over. But when he saw Qin Xingqi beside him, everyone obediently shrank back, giving Shishu a subtle look, signaling him to go over and talk to them. However, Shishu hesitated and didn't move. Who knows how much the change in identity will truly impact things. Maybe he's just waiting for him to come over so he can show off. Qin Xingqi suddenly spoke up from beside him, aren't you going over? Shishu shook his head repeatedly, no, I won't go. Everyone wasn't really familiar with each other to begin with. It was only a surface-level friendship. Now the situation has changed. It's better not to be friends anymore. Qin Xingqi was just asking casually. Since you're not going, then forget it. The two of you walked only a few steps. Then 2 young men walked over. The man with quicker steps is a bit older. Isn't that Mr. Qin you haven't seen in a while? It's rare to see you two out together today. Are things not going well in life? Are you short of money lately? I've always heard that the two of you don't get along well. Seeing this, it really seems like others are just talking nonsense. Mrs. Qin is very beautiful. At first glance, I didn't think much of it. But Shushi is actually a person who has written many novels. He quickly understood what the other person meant, especially when the other person's disgusting gaze fell on him. Watching him gave me goosebumps. When Planet Shi's eyes turned cold, I thought Mr. Goo's body just couldn't move anymore. Turns out he could still get up. Some people fall in one place, and they know the next time to stay quiet. Some fools aren't satisfied unless they die in the same place they fell. Mr. Jiyu, are you saying that? The other person's face darkened for a moment, but quickly, they smiled again. What was once a pit now is a treasure lying on the ground. Naturally, everyone wants to pick it up. I heard Mr. Qin has recently encountered some business problems. Since we know each other, I just want to kindly remind Mr. Qin, sometimes wealth isn't just money. It can also be a matter of people and circumstances. Subconsciously clutching Qin Xingqi's arm. This man is really disgusting. I really want to hit him. Qin Xingqi pats Shishu's hand with a few words of comfort. Some people just know what kind of person they are, assuming others are just like this. Maybe it's because of a narrow perspective. Yeah, I'm a narrow-minded person. Just doing small business to make a living, which is relatively safe. But if I were to pass away someday, I definitely wouldn't want my woman to suffer with me. Is that what makes a man? This time, Qin Xingqi hasn't spoken yet. I just couldn't help but recite poetry and calligraphy. It's not that I'm unwilling to let my woman suffer. No one would want to endure hardship with you, right? I've heard Mr. Gu has quite a few close confidants. But when he almost went bankrupt before, not a single one offered a helping hand. Qin Xingqi looked at his master, trembling all over, and somehow found him quite adorable. The two men across the street still wanted to say something. A young man beside them suddenly made them change their expressions. Second brother, what are you doing here? Someone's coming. It's actually the youngest among Qin Xingqi's brothers. Now the hottest male star online, Zhu Xuanhan. And the one who married the original self out of sympathy for Qin Xingqi. What do you guys mean by this? When did my second brother become someone you can talk to casually? The two people across looked angry, but they didn't say anything. They immediately turned around and left. And Zhu Xuanhan's firepower quickly shifted direction. Second brother, if you come, just come. Why are you still bringing him along? It caused those two fools earlier to dare to come in front of you. To show off. You're too patient. When Qin Xingqi faces his own brothers, his attitude is obviously much more relaxed. They are just a few petty clowns. You don't usually come to such occasions. Why is it reversed this time? Zhu Xuan calls Iron Mouth. I'm just worried that if you come by chance, you might run into someone with no sense. Luckily, I came. Otherwise, those two unlucky guys earlier might have said something they shouldn't have. After speaking, he looked at Shishu with a hint of disdain. Since you're protecting second brother today, I won't say anything. But given second brother's current condition, there's no way you'll be able to squeeze money out of him. So there's no need to pretend to be clueless anymore. Just leave if you're going to leave. Senior uncle looks a bit awkward laughing. He's just defending his own brother. As a party involved, what can he possibly say? Planet Pool's regulations prevented him from speaking recklessly. We haven't even divorced yet. Shifu Chuxia thought that this time, she would face many awkward situations. But because Zhu Xuanhan was sitting nearby, others didn't dare to come over. And they didn't sit for long. Qin Xingqi is about to leave with him. Until they sit in the car. Shishu Xia finally gathers the courage to speak. Did you accomplish your goal for attending the banquet today? Qin Xingqi suddenly hears such a question. He responds faintly, I suppose I have. Shishu Xia indeed doesn't understand the moves of these big shots. Clearly, from start to finish, only 3 people are looking for trouble. But the desired outcome can still be achieved. However, recalling from my innate memories, every time at the banquet, when I was the center of attention, and thinking about tonight's encounter, perhaps he's also feeling unhappy inside. Thinking of my master uncle, I try to come up with something to be happy about. I sold all those bags and clothes. Now I've saved up a bit of money. Since we are not in debt, why not buy a small apartment? We can make a down payment first. And I'll cover the monthly installments with my royalties. Keep 6 months worth of living expenses as emergency funds. If you want to do business or something else, you can use the rest. Planet hesitation certificate. I didn't expect Shishuxia to say such words. Through the rearview mirror, I saw Shishuxia's beautiful face with a hint of anticipation. As if she's expecting something. Like she's handing over money for him to use. It's his willing face, with clear eyes and a gentle expression. Kai continues to step on the accelerator, not in a hurry. How can you not be anxious? The housing prices are changing every day. If you don't buy now, it'll only get more expensive later. If you mind, I can put the house in your name. That's fine too. At least it ensures that we won't be left without a fallback. This matter is too important. Shishu, this is the first time you've shown such obvious concern. Qin Xingqi paused for a moment and said, all right, I'll consider it. Shishu let out a breath of relief. Big brother Qin's eyes are definitely sharper than his. When the time comes, the house he chooses will definitely be better than his. But what he doesn't know is that when he gets home at night, Qin Xingqi receives a phone call. Second brother, I've already found out what you asked me to look into. I've sent the encrypted file to your email. Take a look. Qin Xingqi sits at the desk, staring at the computer. He taps the desk rhythmically, intentionally or unintentionally, in a certain pattern. After a while, he picks up his phone and makes a call. Master Son, I have a question. If a person doesn't have schizophrenia, but it's as if they've become someone else, even their habits and outlook on life seem to change suddenly, what could be the reason? A few minutes later, she hung up the phone. Xingxingqi relaxed her body and leaned back in her seat. Is technology the dusk? The next morning at the dining table, Qin Xingqi and the 4 people from Manli finished a flower-shaped steamed bun. Suddenly, she looked up, as if she sensed something. What kind of stories do you usually write in your novels? Uncle, she stopped eating and looked up at her. There are all kinds, right? But my favorite is still time travel novels. Qin Xingqi. Looking at my uncle's gaze, it darkened a bit. Does time travel really exist? My uncle nodded without noticing. I believe it really exists. Maybe. Our world is also constructed by others. Who knows what the world truly looks like? Since even that can't be confirmed, how can we dare to say that time travel doesn't exist? Planet Pool hesitated for a moment. In a world built from forbidden books about time travel. Actually, looking at it from another angle, each of our lives is like a novel. And everyone is the protagonist of their own story. Of course, in someone else's story. Maybe we are just an unknown extra. Or even cannon fodder. It seems that love stars are turning serious. So, what do you think if you were to travel back in time? What might your past life have been?